The Edmonton Oilers lose a heartbreaker tonight versus the Ottawa Senators in a game which they dominated every aspect of. They simply couldn't get it done. They couldn't get the bounces that the Ottawa Senators managed to get, as well as a lot of positive words to come from this game, even though it was a very tough loss. Now, we're going to be talking about a bunch of brand new news here. A new signing that is going to be pretty sneaky in the long run, or could be, as well as Zach Hyman hitting his 50th goal of the season for the first time in his career here in this game. Now, we're going to be touching on all of that here in this video. Before we do, we notice that 97% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all your Oilers news, join us here on the channel, hit the sub button, and you will not miss any of the major Oilers news as it happens. But like I said, we're going to get right into this game here. We're going to touch on this one first, just because it was a tough loss, but a lot of positive to take away from it, but we don't want to stick too hard on this loss, and we don't want to get too caught up in it. But I'll pull up the game, the box score here, excuse me. You can have a look and pause this here, or if you want to just let the video run through, it'll be at the bottom of the screen as well throughout the entire video. But you know, a tough game from Calvin Pickard. That's definitely the first one to notice here. The Ottawa Senators got a lot of the right bounces they needed to be able to win this game, as you can see by it. Only 15 shots against and 11 saves for Calvin Pickard. 4 goals against and 733 save percentage. It's not ideal for what you want to see on this team, but you live and you learn. You know that what you learn from your mistakes here in this game, and you're going to move on from that. But to keep it on a positive note, Zach Hyman there, the one goal he had was his 50th of the season. A very good note for him, a very big landmark for him as well. Getting that first 50 goal of the season, very rare in the NHL that people get that, and you hope that for him at the beginning of the season, and so happy to finally see it. Zach Hyman, one of the best acquisitions in Edmonton Oilers history. It seems to be working out for him. You can see on some stuff I'll be pulling up later that absolutely insane since he's been in with Edmonton, and well-deserved for him. Happy for him. But you keep on looking here. Evan Bouchard, 3 assists, a big part of the offense here in this game. Great on defense as well. Just an unlucky penalty there at the end of the game to get that power play goal to get Ottawa the win there. But, like I said, you have to move on from that. It happens. Connor McDavid with 2 assists as well. I'll pull up here the hockey stat card from Twitter. This is a nice one I like to pull up here in all the videos. Really shows the in-depth analysis of what's really going on with these players, who's playing good, what aspect of the game may be good or bad. But you can see here a lot of positive, like I said here in the intro. A lot of good stuff to take away from this game. Tough game for Kulak and Ceci, but once again, there's not much you could have done. A very unlucky game for the Edmonton Oilers in that aspect, that they simply couldn't get the bounces that the Ottawa Senators did to be able to have it, even though they did dominate this entire game. And like I said, it's not too much to look at here. A lot of positive, a very unlucky game. But let's move on to, like I said, what I was talking about a minute ago. Zach Hyman, 50th goal of the season. You could not be any happier for him. Such a well-deserving landmark for him. And I expect that this is going to continue for a long time. Zach Hyman is an excellent player, especially going from the Leafs to the Oilers, getting a bigger role on this team, as you can see once in a minute when I pull up his stats, that the differential between the Leafs and Oilers just took a massive step up once he moved teams. But it's not too bad going from Austin Matthews to Connor McDavid. But once again, you can see here the NHL 50 for Zach Hyman. First time in his NHL career, Hyman has reached the 50-goal plateau. Now, here's the stats. You can see there, going from that 2020 to 2021 to 21-22 season from the Leafs to the Oilers, immediately taking a major step up. And it's such a well-deserving milestone for him, especially after, going fifth round to the Florida Panthers, not playing a game there, going to the Marlies, then the Maple Leafs, working his way up from there. And he's taken such a big leadership role even on this team in a short time there. He has, like I said, that leadership role for the younger guys, even though he's not, one of the assistants or the captains on this team. That don't really matter. The Oilers have a great group of guys there to hold that leadership role, to be able to take ownership of everything, be able to share the wealth and all that kind of stuff. Everything you want in an NHL locker room, Zach Hyman possesses. You've seen after the goal the amount of praise that his teammates gave him on the bench, the amount of praise that was given to him from everybody there, and how much this team loves him. And you can't blame them one bit for that. But like I said, it's such a great accomplishment for him. Very happy for him, and I do expect these 50-goal campaigns to maybe come on in the future once again. But like I said, very happy for him. I cannot say it enough, but we're gonna have to see what he does for the rest of the season, and I expect him to continue this hot streak he's been having. But a pretty sneaky signing the Oilers have made as of late as well that I want to touch on here just at the end of this video. Patrick Stefan, the guy who missed the open net on the Edmonton Oilers. His son, James Stefan, has signed with the Edmonton Oilers a 3-year entry-level deal from the WHL. 48 goals and 51 assists, in 64 games this season in the WHL. Very, very good stat line for a guy who, was never drafted, was never, considered one of these top prospects. But when you see 100 points in 66 games, no matter what league it's in, WHL, OHL, CHL, USHL, whatever it may be overseas, it's always something to keep an eye on. A very good stat, a very good sign, I guess you could say, for the future. And you can see with his Portland Winterhawks tenure, he's been pretty solid these past 3 seasons. And that 1 year on the the USHL, very good there as well. But this is considered a signing that is not going to be, one player to come up right away. He's going to be considered a long shot per many people that I've seen talking about this signing, and that's definitely probably the case. I can definitely see him being a long shot. He's not a big name, but he's going to be one to keep an eye on. When you have 100 points in the WHL, like I said, or any other junior league, that is something that I think could really work in your favor for the future, whether, you keep him in the minors for a while, he can stay in the WHL or whatnot. This is one that is going to be very good to pay attention to. You never know what happens with a lot of these guys. There's some sneaky signings around the NHL that have managed to weave their way through adversity, come into an NHL franchise, an NHL roster, and really show what they're made of, prove all the doubters wrong. And from having 100 points, going undrafted, and being signed to a 3-year entry-level deal by the Edmonton Oilers, I do think that is going to be one that, like I said, you're going to want to keep an eye on this kid. Whether or not he does make it into the NHL, that's to be seen yet. We're going to have to wait and see, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. We're going to have to wait and see what he can really do, what the Oilers think of him in their system, their training camp, and whatnot. It's going to be one that I think many people are going to have to take a close look at, But, like I said, being a long shot in the NHL system, in the NHL program, is definitely something that many people are, very few come out of. So, being labeled as that, you'd only want to put not more pressure, but more, more energy into working to get there, to prove these people wrong, and, be as best as you can be to be able to have this opportunity and take full advantage of it. But, not too much on him so far. What we've seen, the Oilers really haven't gotten to, take control of him, use the practice, put him in any situation yet for a development camp, a training camp, or whatnot. But it's going to be one to keep an eye on. I think the Oilers believe in him, as that's why they have signed him. But once again, 100 points is nothing to scoff at. That's something that, very few people achieve, many hope to, and some that do definitely work out in the favor of these teams. So, like I said, just want to keep an eye on, just a little intro to that first, to the Stefan family, I guess you could say, for the Edmonton Oilers. But some very positive news to come out of today for the Edmonton Oilers, even though it was a pretty tough loss for the Oilers against the Ottawa Senators. But like I said, you move on from that. You definitely dominated that game. It was a good game to take away. Just the score, you're gonna have to watch that. Look at that in the past, but that's all I got here for in this video. If you did want to get all of your Oilers news, you're gonna hit the sub button, join us along on this channel. I'm here with the guys, just helping them out a little while, but I'll pop in once in a while. But like I said, hit the sub button if you do want to stay up to date with all of the Oilers news. We'll have it here, but that's all we got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.